And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at Ghost Adventure. This is from a company, Buzzy Games Spinboard. This is a game in which you have a top, a spinning top, an actual real spinning top, a plastic one, and you are manipulating that on boards, trying to make it go to different spots, you and a group of other people. It's a cooperative game, or you play it solo, moving a top around. That's pretty much the game, but let me show you what it looks like first. The goal of this game is to move a spinning top around different realms. The inside of the box shows you this world with the different realms, and there are 8 of those, 2 on each side of the 4 boards that are included with the game. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to either follow a comic book or a book that's just full of missions. The comic book has a non-verbal communication of things that have happened, etc. And at certain points in the comic book, we'll say, here's your mission. You need to go to this spot on this board, this spot on this board, this spot on this board, and then this spot on this board. Do all 4 of those, and you do the mission. Although you can see that as time goes by, it gets more difficult as you go through. But if you don't want to read the comic book, or you're done with the comic book, there's just lists of different missions that you can go through, which again go from easy to incredibly difficult throughout here. You're going to use one of 2 tops that comes with the game. You have your just regular spinning top that you can just spin. That wasn't a very good spin. Or you have the top that comes where you're going to be using this key ring to give this one a good spin. Now, whenever you spin a top, it's always going to start in the summoning zone of whatever board you start on. And then you need to get to something on that board. So let's say I needed to go over here. Well, then I'm just going to pick the board up, and I'm going to be manipulating it, trying to avoid those holes because that's a bad thing. And I land on this board. Now I need to go to another board. Each board has an exit spot on it. So I'm just going to move the top along, and you're always going to drop it onto the summoning zone of the next board. Now you'll notice that boards have multiple levels. You're allowed to go down a level, but you're never allowed to go up a level unless you get to one of these arrows. If you go to one of those arrows, you're allowed to jump it to move it onto a higher level, and in the direction of the arrow that's done. There's also teleportation spots. If you're on one of those, you can jump to a spot on any board, sometimes even the same board if you have to flip it. There's also spots that will basically kill you. If you drop into these purple areas, they will kill you. But there are items you have to get to, so you just have to hover over the item for a little bit before you go to the next spot. And if you ever fail, or the top falls, it's going to fall, then you spend a potion and you go to your last checkpoint, which is one of these areas here, the last one that you got to, and you start from there. Although if you get to a potion spot on the board, you can refill one of your potions. You'll usually start with 3 full potions and 1 empty one. And that's it. You can play 1 player, which is really tricky, or 2 players where you're working back and forth or more with the different boards. You'll see all the boards. Some of them have 3 levels. So there's a bottom level, second level, third level. This one has mostly just 2 levels. I think there's a third level here and around the outside. And that's how you play. I'm really happy with the components for this. It comes with instructions on how to play and work with the tops. It also shows you every spot here and how the different things work on them. It comes with a bunch of extra pieces for the tops in case the points get damaged, which is really nice. It's very impressive that, I mean, mine haven't even come close to getting damaged, but it's nice knowing that you have those. You have 2 of these pieces here. I mean, I think most people are going to want to use the one that you pull, that top, I call it the Beyblade top, as opposed to the normal top you spin with your fingers, but I do like that they have both of them in there. The boards are phenomenally put together. I really like these boards. They have a good look to them with the UV printing on them. There's the different levels, which is tricky. So if you're here, you need to, if you want to get up to this level here, you got to jump up there, then slide around the outside. How tricky is that? It's interesting, right? And the boards are neat, they're fun. Some of the boards like this one here, to get to that treasure chest is really hard. You have to make it go without falling into any of these holes that are there. Or to get the rubber ducky over here. And there's all kinds of different symbols, but it's not hard. The comic book is nice. I don't actually understand everything that's going on in it. I think some text might have helped. But it's a fun comic book, and the art is incredibly well done. Overall, I'm very impressed with this game. I like that the map is in here. This is also your top spinning area, your practice area. It's very well produced. Well, there you have it. It's spinning a top. So it's a gimmick game. It's a gimmick in which you're spinning a top around. I've had games where you're moving a ball around. I've had games that you slide things around. So it's one of those kind of games geared towards kids, but also adults can play it. It's a good family-style game. And it's hard. It really is. I'm able to beat the easier levels. You got plenty of time, especially with the potions. You know, if you have to get 4 things, if you can do it 1 spin per board, you're pretty good in that regard. But those final levels, whew, and just moving stuff around, trying to spin, use a teleportation to flip to the other side of the same board you're on, that's tricky stuff. Now you'll get better at it because, as with anything like a yo-yo or something, you know, a spinning top, you're going to get better the more you practice at it. And I also like that the game says if you don't like your spin, you get 2 more spins. That's good, because sometimes you spin the top and you go, nope, that ain't a good spin. It's a fun story. I'm not really sure how a ghost mouse is the hero. Like the bad guy smashed the statues, a ghost mouse comes out and he needs to save the day. A little confused as to what's going on. I feel like there must be some backstory, maybe a comic, maybe a cartoon I don't know about. Or maybe not. Maybe it was created for this game and they're fighting the boogeyman here. But it works. But at the end of the day, you're just going around and collecting different resources. The story doesn't matter. So get this, if it looks interesting and you think that one gimmick thing works for you, because it's not going to work for everybody. Some people will be like, oh, this is an interesting thing. And for many people, this could be a one-time play. You play it at a convention. Oh, it's that spinning top game. Let's give it a whirl. But some people are going to enjoy it more. If you like tops at all, if you like Beyblade, you're going to want to get this because that takes it and makes it an interesting game. And I think if you have kids and you want to play a family-style game, this one is also one you'll want to pull out. It's also just fantastic production, and the whole thing is really well done. So to that end, I'd recommend it. That's Ghost Adventure. I'm Tom Vasel. You've been watching the Dice Tower. Dice Tower Judgment approved.